The white shirts await. Tyrone Marsh is making a run on the edge of the 6-yard box as the corner is swung in high. It's just over the head of Stevens on the corner of the 6-yard box and will be up there. And again, Boreham Wood do enough to play it off Marcondes and win another corner. And Marcondes there for Bournemouth has run over, placed the ball on the corner spot as if to say, the corner quadrant, as if to say, you know, come on, let's get on with it. I mean, that shows what a pickle Bournemouth are in, Karen.
Yeah, I mean, look, they just need to keep a clean sheet mentality as well now, up into half-time, keep it at 1-0, but again, another in-swinging corner, the wind, Woodman looking a little bit vulnerable. It's a good opportunity for Boreham Wood here now on this corner.
The 6-yard box is jam-packed. Boreham Wood again have sent the height forward from the back, but it's played to the edge of the area. A little slip might allow the shot to come in. In the end, it's scooped in by Tyrone Marsh, and Freddie Woodman will watch it behind. And there is the half-time whistle. Boos from the home fans, jubilation from the away supporters. I was going to say they rise to a man and a woman, but they don't. They've been standing all first half, but they stay risen. They applaud with their hands above their heads because their side have been outstanding in this first half, and they lead Bournemouth by 1-0. Karen Carter.
They've been absolutely brilliant. The game plan that Luke Garrard's implemented, it's been outstanding, and they fully deserve the 1-0 lead, and it's a great finish from Ricketts. It probably wasn't the biggest of execution in terms of how he struck it, but it's a great finish because it's in the back of the net and they've got the lead.
What a story we could have developing for you here on 5 Live. Half-time in the FA Cup 4th round. Bournemouth of the Championship, pushing for Premier League promotion, 0. Boreham Wood of the National League 1. And Robbie and Chris will now take over for 606. And Robbie, you might have a few tasty calls tonight from here as well.
Certainly, Will, Vicky, thank you so much for that first half commentary to yourself and Karen. I'm sure there'll be Leicester fans, Boreham Wood fans, you know, what a day of FA Cup football. 08085 909 693. Join myself and Chris after the news on 5 Live with Lisa McCormack.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Prince Charles has paid tribute to the Queen on her Platinum Jubilee for the remarkable achievement of reaching 70 years on the throne. The Prince of Wales also thanked his mother for making it clear she would like the Duchess of Cornwall to be known as Queen Consort when he's king. Here's the royal author, Robert Hardman.
She's not sentimental. She doesn't spend her life looking back. She's very often looking to the future, and she can see that when King Charles, when the next reign begins, the last thing really he's going to want is a sort of the distraction of some sort of debate about what his wife should be called. So this is a very sensible way of dealing with it.
Scotland's Energy Secretary's warning there's a real risk that people could die because of rising energy prices. There'll be a £200 repayable discount on bills in England, Scotland and Wales from October, as well as a £150 council tax rebate for some homes in England. But Michael Matheson says more needs to be done.
The action that's been proposed by the UK government last week is insufficient to deal with the very serious increase we're now seeing in energy prices. It's going to be compounded by the increase in national insurance contributions and also with the cut in universal credit.
The Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has dismissed Russia's claims that it has no plans to invade Ukraine. Writing on Twitter, she said the UK and its allies would raise the cost to Moscow if it took military action. The lawyer for a man convicted of killing mother and daughter Lynn and Megan Russell in Kent more than 25 years ago says the serial killer Levi Belfield has confessed to their murders. Paul Bacon says he's received a 4-page statement from Belfield, who's currently serving a whole life sentence for killing schoolgirl Millie Darling. A report by the United Nations suggests that North Korea is funding its missile programs with millions of dollars of stolen cryptocurrency. Investigators say hackers from the country stole more than £30 million worth of digital assets between 2020 and mid-2021. Boris Johnson's wife, Carrie, says she's the target of a brutal briefing campaign by enemies of her husband. Her spokesman says the allegations made in a new book by the Conservative peer Lord Ashcroft are just the latest attempt by bitter ex-officials to discredit her. That's the news. Showjo's got the sport now.
Lisa, thank you. Good evening. Let's start with the final of the Africa Cup of Nations. It's Senegal versus Egypt, Sadio Mane versus Mo Salah. We've already had some drama, John Akers.
We certainly have. A missed penalty from Sadio Mane after 5 minutes. Senegal 0, Egypt 0, and Senegal well on top in this one, getting into some good positions, getting around the side of Egypt. Mo Salah hasn't been able to get into the game yet, but that big moment early, fantastic save by Gabaski, terrific save, blasted it down the middle, tipped it behind for a corner. It's Senegal 0, Egypt 0.
Thank you, John. Coverage of that is on BBC Three right now. Holders Leicester City are out of the FA Cup. They lost 4-1 away to Championship Nottingham Forest at a pulsating City ground earlier. It is Forest's second Premier League scalp of the tournament, having knocked out Arsenal in round 3. Here is the beaten Leicester City manager, Brendan Rodgers.
It was a very, very tough one. I think firstly it's to apologise to the supporters, because the attributes you need in a derby game, in particular coming to here the first time in a number of years, in a game like this here, you need to show your authority as a Premier League team and also a physicality, and that was something that was missing from our game.
I've spoken to you a number of times this season, and the number of goals that have gone in, set pieces and a few others, it's been difficult to string results together because you've been vulnerable at the back all season.
Yeah, consistency's been really, really disappointing. We lacked stability. We make too many mistakes. You know, when you're playing a game of football, you need your central defenders to be stable, to calm, and unfortunately we gave up too many opportunities, and then at 2-0 it rocked us, and we failed to then have any sort of rhythm in our game and composure.
And just one last thing, it is a worrying sign that, you know, if another fan got onto the pitch today, you've been involved in football in a long time, do you fear that we're sort of going back to the bad old days a little bit?
Well, hopefully not, but I think the rules of society is changing. You know, that level of respect. You know, you think a generation's growing up, that was one of the first things. You know, the football pitch it should be a separate place. There's a great atmosphere today, both sets of supporters making it, and then it should be a safe environment for the players to play football. But we don't need that on the field, and the club will deal with that for sure.
Well, Brendan Rodgers there with Rob Northman. Following that incident, a man has been arrested after running onto the pitch following Nottingham Forest's third goal. Liverpool are also into round 5. They set up a home tie with Norwich City after beating Cardiff 3-1. Harvey Elliott scored on his return to action after 5 months out with an ankle injury. Jurgen Klopp, his manager, was delighted for the midfielder.
So it's like a little fairy tale, to be honest, with a really bad start back in the days at Leeds, where we lost him. From that moment on, Harvey was, from the first second, I think he was in a better place than the rest of us. When I saw him the first time after it, I was still really shocked by the incident. He was already, I will be back stronger and all these kind of things. So he's a really special kid. But it took a while. But the medical department did an incredible job, really. He was patient enough to do all the necessary things. So there's still a way to go, obviously, but this was the perfect moment to bring him on. Scoring that goal, that makes it a fairy tale, obviously. In front of the Kop is really special. I think there was it gave so 12 o'clock kickoff is maybe not the most emotional, that people are not ready for the biggest emotions, but when Harvey came on, it felt like European night, 8 o'clock, flat light. So the crowd was there and celebrated that. It was really nice.
The 5th round draw in full is on the BBC Sport website. The ties of the round, though, will see Peterborough host Manchester City, Luton face Chelsea at Kenilworth Road. In the Women's Super League today, Chelsea improved their prospects of retaining the title with a crucial 1-0 win over Manchester City. Guro Reiten scored the only goal to leave Emma Hayes' side 2 points behind leaders Arsenal with a game in hand. Elsewhere in the WSL, in the bottom of the table clash, there were wins for Leicester, Tottenham and Reading. In Scotland, Rangers beat third place Hearts 5-0. They stay a point behind the leaders Celtic, who won 4-0 at Motherwell. Gabin Villiers scored a hat-trick of tries as France beat Italy 37-10 in the Six Nations. Sale Sharks beat the defending champions Harlequins 36-14 in Rugby Union's Premiership. And Andy Murray is set to miss this year's French Open and instead will focus his attention on Wimbledon. Murray will skip the entire clay court season as he says he doesn't want to take any risks before the grass tournaments come around.
More live Premier League football than anyone else. This is 5 Live.
We've got a game on our hands!
Over 140 live subscription-free games. On Tuesday night, Newcastle host Everton. Then on Wednesday, Spurs take on Southampton. And on Thursday, it's Liverpool versus Leicester. All kick off at 7:45.
More live Premier League football than anyone else. This is 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sport.
Yes, welcome to a little 606. Christopher, you're there, aren't you?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, Rob.
Yeah,
how are you?
Yeah, I was told to introduce you because the listeners haven't had the pleasure of your voice on 5 Live today, but I don't think they missed you.
Yeah, the best things come to those who wait, Rob.
They certainly do, Christopher. As we go straight into the calls, let's go to Simon, who's a Leicester fan. How are you, Simon?
Hi guys, how you doing? Not too bad. I'm disappointed, obviously.
How disappointed were you with that, Simon?
I mean, it was very, very disappointing. I mean, to be fair, I'll put my hands up to Forest, even though I don't like to. They were just the better side. Defence again, set pieces, absolutely awful. It looked like we was going to concede every single corner, free kick. It was absolutely terrible. Shocking performance. I don't know what the comments Daniel Marte was doing, to be fair, giving away the second goal, but they were both poor.
Brendan Rodgers coming out, we heard his interview there, apologising to the supporters, saying that the team lacked authority and physicality. I mean, is this on Brendan, or has he just been unlucky with injuries?
I mean, you don't want to keep blaming the injuries all the time, to be fair, but I mean, Fofana is a massive miss. I mean, I think you guys will probably think the same of me. I think he's a quality young player. Obviously, shown what happened to him. Yes, we've got a lot of injuries and but not being funny or anything. When we beat Liverpool in the league, I mean, our two centre backs was Ndidi and Amate. Neither of them are, centre backs. So there's no excuse. But I'm shocked. But like I say, good luck to Forest in the next round. And depends who you say that. But yeah. So I don't know what will happen next, but you just have to move on and get into the next game, I'm afraid. That's just the way football is. So,
thank you, Simon. Chris, I think Leicester 10th in the Premier League. Forest were very good today. I think Leicester City now is 10th in the Premier League. Listen, when I was at Leicester, Chris, 10th every season, you would have said, yeah, and a cup run. But now after Leicester win the Premier League, the FA Cup, nearly getting the Champions League on 2 occasions. What is now, Chris, success for Brendan Rodgers and Leicester?
I think that's it's a really good question, an interesting question, because of the way they've performed the last 2 seasons. A couple of 5th place finishes. I mean, they should have got into a Champions League spot last season, winning the FA Cup. But it'll be interesting to see, what other Leicester City fans think. Whether Brendan has taken them as far as he can. I don't think that's the case. I think Brendan has still got more to prove. I think they have been hit hard with injuries. I've got to say, I think the recruitment was poor in the summer defensively. Vestergaard hasn't paid off. And I saw an article where Brendan had said there needs to be big changes in the summer. So I suppose we want to hear from Leicester City fans in terms of Brendan talking about big changes. Well, what changes do Leicester City fans want to see?
Well, let's bring in Matt, who's a Leicester fan.
Hi, Jeff, you alright?
All right, Matt, did you hear what Chris said then? What do you want to see changed?
I did, yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure what needs to change, but I do think that Brendan Rodgers' position is becoming indefensible very, very quickly. I think
that any credit in the bank? No credit in the bank because of the last couple of seasons?
He does have some credit in the bank, but there's certain things like the set-piece goals. We've been conceding very, very soft set-piece goals for 3 years now. We sit in the stands every week. We see it week in, week out. He's stuck with the zonal defensive, the zonal marking, and we continue to concede week in, week out. He changed it, I think, about 3 weeks ago, and we didn't concede from a corner in 3 games. The Brighton game, we've gone 1-0 up just before half-time, come out at half-time, and we've gone defensive at home to Brighton. All due respect to Brighton, a Leicester side, even with the injuries we've got, should be looking to dominate a team like Brighton. And it's just becoming more and more a regular occurrence that we are collapsing against teams in important games. We've got the 2 goals in 30 seconds against Spurs. Last season, we should have qualified for the Champions League. We collapsed against Spurs again.
Still a good season. Last season, still a good season.
I mean,
FA Cup, fantastic season.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If you'd offered me that at the start of the season, then obviously I would have taken your hand off. But I think if we're being real, you've got to say we were 11 points clear of a Champions League place. We only needed another 2 points and would have got one. So for me, yeah, okay, it's a good season, but you need to look at the bigger picture as well and say, well, we have that in our hands.
Matt, thank you. Matt, thank you so much for your call. 08085 909 690. I forgot the number then, Christopher. The teams are coming out, so let's hand back to Vicky Spark and Karen Carney. I want to hear the word pockets mentioned, Kazza.
Oh, hello, how are you both?
All right, Kazza.
Pockets.
We'll do our best for you, Robbie. And we'll bring you this second half here, live, on 5 Live. Bournemouth trailing National League Boreham Wood by a goal to nil at half-time. And unsurprisingly, Scott Parker is making changes at half-time. Lewis Cook and Ben Pearson off, Ryan Christie and Todd Cantwell joined on loan from Norwich on deadline day. One of 5 signings that Bournemouth made on for his debut. He's endured such a torrid time with the Premier League club this season. Just 8 appearances, really tough season, combination of injury problems, personal reasons, selection, just not being able to get into the side under Daniel Farker or Dean Smith, really, in and out when he has played.
Sorry, Vicky, straight away I've seen a bit of movement from Cantwell, comes to feet, spins in behind. Good movement, so he's come on, he's going to play in that 10 role on the right hand side as an attacking midfielder. Trying to see where Christie's coming on, but hopefully, from a Bournemouth perspective, we'll see more of him attacking-wise and a bit more flair, a bit more fluidity.
It's Boreham Wood, though, who win possession. It's Boreham Wood who are leading by a goal to nil, but charged down by Jayden Anthony for Bournemouth into the penalty area. Jamal Lowe, shot blocked from 12 yards out, spins out to the right-hand side. This is much better from Bournemouth already. Back to Cantwell, dispossessed just inside the penalty area and cleared away to safety by Boreham Wood of the National League. Header one at the back as well for Bournemouth by James Hill, and it will spin out to Nat Phillips under pressure from Scott Foden, the Boreham Wood striker, who does manage to get a foot there. Then he goes down, he was pulled back there by Nat Phillips, and Graham Scott is calling the Liverpool loanee over to him, and that will be the first yellow card of the game. Free kick to Boreham Wood. What a breathless start to this second half, Karen Carney.
It's exactly what Robbie wanted, some pocket spaces opening up now there. But obviously Bournemouth went one in, we see a lot more intent. Anthony's gone onto the left, Christie's gone onto the right, and you see Cantwell coming on, they had a little opportunity, then Boreham Wood go long, and Nat Phillips tries to clear it, and then when he does clear it, he's then out of position. Bournemouth play it through, and then he's had to pull back, and that's where he's got his yellow card. So great start to the second half, Vicky.
So free kick for Boreham Wood, who lead 1-0. Swung in left-footed to the penalty area, headed away importantly. Still back in there by David Stevens of Boreham Wood, wins the header, and now crossed in by the captain, and Freddie Woodman almost caught out there at his far post as Ricketts drifted the ball in. I think it was more than a cross than a shot from the Boreham Wood goalscorer, but it almost caught out Freddie Woodman as Bournemouth clear, and Boreham Wood pick it up just inside their own half. My word, Karen, that would have been the perfect opening to this second 45 for the National League side.
Oh, it would have been, definitely. But I think you're right, I think it was more of a cross, but credit to Woodman, he reacted really well, got a strong right arm and palmed it away, because I'm sure that was headed in, to be honest, Vicky, but got to keep their wits about them at the back. As much as they're going for it, Bournemouth, they've still got to have good control at the back, make sure everyone's focused, but the shape hasn't changed for them, they're still in that 4-3-3, and like I said, now Anthony's on the left, Christie's on the right, and still Lowe's up top.
And Bournemouth in possession. Here is Leif Davis over the halfway line, forward to Jayden Anthony, who's forced all the way out to the halfway line, and Kilkenny. So, 2.5 minutes in, Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1. We will head to the Africa Cup of Nations final, Egypt against Senegal. John Akers.
9 minutes to half-time, Senegal 0, Egypt 0. Senegal with the majority of the possession, about 55%. Of course, the major talking point, a missed penalty from Mane for Senegal after 5 minutes. Gabaski with a fantastic save. Not a lot of chances since then for either team. Senegal 0, Egypt 0.
Thanks, John, here at the Vitality. It is Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood of the National League 1 in this FA Cup 4th round. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. Campbell in possession. We'll take you through the lineups as soon as this game slows, because it's at 100 miles an hour at the moment as Leif Davis lifts the ball into the area. Campbell tried to twist and turn, and it's cleared away for Boreham Wood. So Bournemouth with Woodman in goal. The back four of Mariah Welsh, Phillips, Hill and Davis. Ahead of them now, it's Marcondes, Campbell, who's come on at half-time, and Kilkenny, with Christie another half-time substitute, and Anthony supporting low up top as the ball is sent forward long for Bournemouth towards Jayden Anthony, who tracks it down on the byline. Left-hand side, lovely little back heel for Leif Davis, pulls the ball across, everybody missed it, and it's cleared away by Boreham Wood. Their striker, Scott Bowden, won't keep that in, and Bournemouth have a throw. Boreham Wood with Ashby Hammond in goal. The back three of Stevens, Evans and Connor Stevens. David Stevens, his other centre-half partner. Ahead of them, it's Smith Ricketts, the captain, the goal scorer, who was at the youth team of Charlton when Scott Parker was there, and he's upset his former one-time reserve teammate. Frankie Raymond alongside them, and Jacob Mendy is the left wing back with Reese in the pocket. There you go, Robbie and Bowden and Marsh up front for Boreham Wood. But it's Bournemouth in possession, swinging the ball into the penalty area through Jayden Anthony, headed away by Will Evans, comes back out to Anthony, goes down. Graham Scott, our referee, not interested, and Ricketts will allow the ball to bounce out of play to throw to Boreham Wood, and I can bring in Karen Carney.
Yeah, look, straight away is a significant improvement. Like I said, the shape of Bournemouth hasn't changed, but just the intensity has, and Mariah Welsh, Brad Davis are really pushing on now, giving them width, and then Christie coming on as well. And I think, like I said earlier, Cantwell coming on as well, just making movements, just more forward intense runs with the purpose, really trying to open up, and it's actually causing a bit of chaos now for Boreham Wood. It's breaking up. The first half they were just so solid, it was like a brick wall. You have to move them, you have to create chaos to open up spaces, and that's what Bournemouth are doing. Keep getting my tongue tied. Boreham Wood.
They are similar, to be fair, but it's the National League side with the one-goal advantage. They're deep in Bournemouth territory. They've lost possession though, and they've given away a free kick there. A little push by Will Evans on Jamal Lowe. Really stepped up there. Will Evans, part of that back three for Bournemouth, but was pretty much on the right wing there for Boreham Wood. And Bournemouth have it inside their own penalty area with James Hill trailing by a goal to nil here on 5 Live. Remember, lines are open for 606 08 085 909 693. Keep Robbie and Chris a call. We'll follow after the conclusion of this match at the Vitality as Campbell went down. Big oof in the crowd, no free kick given, and the ball is forward from Boreham Wood. They're playing it around nicely on the edge of the penalty area, and the shot driven in by Bowden takes a little deflection. Woodman should get there, does get there, and gathers on the byline for Bournemouth. And that's interesting, Karen, because he's saying there, he's moving his hand in that talking gesture. I think he wants more communication from his back line as they play the ball back to him, and Nat Phillips, fellow debutant, comes and helps out and intercepts before Woodman can on the edge of his 6-yard area. But we said before this match, 9 changes from Scott Parker. Yes, he's giving debuts to Phillips and Woodman. Campbell's on now for his debut as well. But particularly with a goalkeeper, I mean, is that a position on the pitch where when you haven't had much training with a defensive unit, it is a challenge to come in as a young goalkeeper?
Yeah, it is, and it would be easier if it's probably Gary Cahill playing in there and Kelly in there, you know, 2 more experienced, they've had that relationship, that connection, so the changes won't help and it can make you unnerving. We've seen that, but they still have a lot of quality, and this is where they need to be playing in their final third away from Woodman and where they want to be if they're going to get this equaliser.
That's where they are as Campbell drives on the edge of the box, blocks by Boreham Wood, played out to the right hand side, and Chrissy didn't look there, didn't see how advanced Mariah Welsh was, so Jamal Lowe has to race out to the right hand side and pick it up, and he's done well there, Lowe, then stopped in his tracks on the edge of the penalty area, and Graham Scott says he's committed a foul there, and there's a little tap of hands there between the Boreham Wood players because they are still leading Bournemouth by a goal to nil. 8 minutes played in this second half. So Ashby Hammond stands over this for Boreham Wood. Oh, to be a fly on the wall in the Boreham Wood dressing room at half-time with Luke Garrard.
I think he just would have been saying, well done. You know, game plan's gone super well and you can probably get more out of them, but I'm sure he would have prepped them for the big changes as well. And then maybe a different version of Bournemouth, which we have seen so far, but credit to them, they've adjusted and adapted, but you can see now the crowd are Bournemouth starting to get behind the home side, and you can see a bit of momentum and they're getting more opportunities and probably better entries into the final third now than they did in the first half.
And in this half, Bournemouth playing from right to left in the black and red striped shirts, the black shorts, and the black socks, Boreham Wood all in white. They are playing to the opposite end, to that noisy contingent of Boreham Wood fans, and that is a positive for them as the shot is driven in from the edge of the penalty area by Ryan Christie. It was a good effort, caught it well, took a deflection on the way through into Bournemouth corner.
Just when you bring on Campbell and Christie, they're just exciting, and Campbell just gets it, plays it forward,
Corner played short, Leif Davis picks it up, swings it into the penalty area, headed away well by David Stevens. Campbell brings it down on the edge of the D, nice touch from the Norwich Loney, out to the Leeds Loney, Leif Davis, and now Jayden Anthony in field now to Ryan Christie. Graham Scott, the referee, had to get out of the way pretty quickly there, did so. Leif Davis now has it on the left-hand side for Bournemouth, who trail by a goal to nil. Ryan Christie, ball into the area, it was a good ball. It was flicked towards goal by Nat Phillips, who was up there at the centre half, and that's nothing to do with the set piece there. Phillips has just advanced and stayed up in the Boreham Wood half. It was a lovely ball in, but couldn't quite get the direction on the header.
Yeah, Christie put in a nice left-footed crossing for him, but he just had to move his feet back, Phillips, and then just couldn't get the direction on it. But what they did was they missed out David Stevens of Boreham Wood. He's the main person that comes out and clears and headers everything, and they keep avoiding him on crosses and set plays. Bournemouth have got a chance to really exploit, especially with Nat Phillips and how good he is aerially as well.
Boreham Wood's win a throw over on the far side, leading 1-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Luke Garrard stands on the edge of his technical area. He said in the build-up to this one, so much mentality and preparation went into this. He highlighted with his Boreham Wood players all of the underdog stories in the FA Cup throughout the years from the fourth round onwards. And he said as well, he didn't want to give away exactly what it was, but they spoke about almost the pattern that there was, the key moments at which those stats might become relevant in a game. It's relevant at the moment because they're leading 1-0 as Marcondes chases that ball into the area for Bournemouth, but just too much on it. And David Stevens, who's been outstanding for Boreham Wood, allows it to roll through to Tay Ashby-Hammond.
He's been brilliant, Stevens, David Stevens, and there's Connor Stevens as well, all of them. Evans has been superb as well, but just it is about belief, Vicky, and I think it's a similar thing when we lost our first game in a World Cup, and they went, right, go and find now all teams that have won a World Cup after losing the first game, and it's about flipping your mindset and thinking, I can do it, I've got belief, we can do it. And Luke Garrard seems to have done it with this Boreham Wood side so far, and in the league, beating Wimbledon and look comfortable here today as well. So whatever he's been doing, getting into their psyche, it's been working.
Huge cheer from the away contingent as Boreham Wood win. A throw, yes, a throw, deep in Bournemouth territory. They still lead by a goal to nil. Frankie Raymond loses out though, but the decision again, the throw goes the way of Boreham Wood. And this time they will slow it down with Jacob Mendy. The white shirts dotted around the edge of the penalty area. Scott Bowden is waiting in the centre. Tyrone Marsh, the other striker, was right out by the corner flag. Took it down to the corner flag at the end of the first half. Now he's claiming that he got a corner, and with a bit of protest from Todd Cantwell, referee Graham Scott says no, the decision goes the way of Bournemouth, and they get play moving again quickly, as they have to, trailing the Championship side 1-0 as they are to their National League opponents. Good work by Jayden Anthony, still inside his own half though, now across the halfway line up to the right hand side, and Mariah Welsh, but well charged down by Jacob Mendy, who's done sterling defensive work this evening, Cameron. We know he's a threat going forward, and he showed that in the build up to the goal, which was scored by the Boreham Wood skipper Mark Ricketts. But he's been very solid defensively, which has been the bulk of his work so far, as Bournemouth win that ball back. Marcondes just inside the Boreham Wood half, and he wins the free kick as well, and Bournemouth have a set piece. But just over the last couple of minutes, Karen, Boreham Wood have managed just to stem the Bournemouth tide, the red and black tide that was flowing towards them from the start of the second period.
Yeah, but the game is becoming more open and more stretched now, and that's where Boreham Wood have got to keep their wits about them. If they do go and attack
Ball into the penalty area, takes a little deflection, and in the end took that over the head of Emiliano Marcondes, who was racing in for Bournemouth, the hat-trick hero in the third round against Yeovil. Also of the National League, Bournemouth need a hero at the Vitality Stadium this evening, because 13 and a half minutes gone. Boreham Wood still lead by 1-0, and it is worth mentioning, we highlighted Boreham Wood's excellent defensive record across the National League this season, and in general across all competitions. We know it's a huge step up this evening, but they are yet to concede a goal in the FA Cup this season. And when you consider they started in the fourth qualifying round, then played the first round, then the second round, then the third round, now the fourth round, they're yet to be breached, and Bournemouth so far unable to do that. Big shout for handball there. Josh Rees left a gasp for Boreham Wood. It could have gone against Bournemouth pretty easily. They do clear downfield, helped on long by David Stevens. Tyrone Marsh won't keep that in, might have been offside anyway. And Bournemouth have a throw deep inside their own territory. And they are just getting on the front foot a little bit more, the National League side.
It's especially when they play in front of their home crowd. Their own crowd. They play down that side, and the fans just give them that real edge, that impetus that they need, and they're going to need it as the game progresses, because there's going to be fatigue, there's going to be tired legs out there.
Yes, that's where all those throws have been won, deep in Bournemouth territory, as Karen says, over on the left-hand side. The ball is thrown into the penalty area, looking for Tyrone Marsh, cleared away by Emiliano Marcondes. Big cheer again, another throw. Let's in for half-time in the final of the Africa Cup of Nations. John Akers.
Senegal 0, Egypt 0. Mane missed the penalty in the 7th minute. Brilliant save by Gabaski. Senegal on top, but Egypt with one big chance. Mo Salah, left foot on the angle, 12 yards. Really good save from Mendy. Was heading for the top corner. Senegal 0, Egypt 0.
Thanks, John. 15 minutes gone in the second half here at the Vitality Stadium, as Bournemouth eventually clear that away off a Bournemouth player, and it will be a goal kick for the Championship side, who trail at home by 1-0. They're playing in the fourth round, Bournemouth, for the third successive season, looking to reach the fifth round for the sixth time in their history. But at the moment, as things stand, they are going to be on one of the biggest upsets in FA Cup history. Boreham Wood, who've never even reached the fourth round before, they only reached the third round for the first time last season, leading by 1-0, and they've won a throw on the halfway line, headed away by Jayden Anthony for Bournemouth, helped forward once again by Will Evans, high into the dark skies on the south coast. Welsh is up there jumping. Graham Scott allows play to continue. Bowden tried to square it to Marsh, but can't do so, and now Bournemouth will try and counter now. David Stevens has come out there, he's caught Jamal Lowe, and I'll be very surprised if that's not a booking. Yes, it is a booking for Stevens, and I think he knew exactly what he was doing there.
Yeah, he did, and that's what I was referring to earlier, Vicky, is that as Boreham Wood get a little bit more excited, the crowd are going, go on, get two. They don't forget, there's got a lot of quality in this Bournemouth side, and they will transition very quick. They will open you up, and you can find yourself going from one end and then them equalising. So they've got to think defence when they're attacking. You know, they can't leave themselves too open. It can't be too transitional, this game.
Here come Bournemouth trying to slice Boreham Wood open. Leaf Davis, ball into the area. Oh, it missed everybody. There were 4 black and red shirts in there. As Tyrone Marsh goes sliding in, he's given away the free kick to Bournemouth in a good position. He's protesting to the official over on that far side. The Bournemouth fans are shouting off. I'm not sure the challenge was quite that bad, but it will be a yellow card for the Boreham Wood striker Tyrone Marsh.
He's saying, Marsh, there that he's won the ball. I think he's nicked it after the player. We got the player first, so I think the official and the referee have made the right decision there. But look, now they've got to defend a wide free kick now, literally 2 yards outside the penalty area, just on the right hand side in favour of Bournemouth. So you just hope that those kind of centre forward tackles in the wrong areas don't come back and haunt you.
It's in a great position for Bournemouth, this. Jayden Anthony and Ryan Christie, the 2 players standing over it. The white shirts are back, defending in their own penalty area. Nat Phillips is up from the back for Bournemouth. Campbell lurks on the edge of the penalty area. Will be Christie to whip it in, and it's punched away by Ashby Hammond, headed back into the penalty area by Leif Davis. Phillips is up there. Bournemouth can't get clear contact. Marcondes tried to swing and a miss. Comes out to the penalty area, sent back in by Leif Davis to the far post. Christie will lash, excellently charged down by Mendy, and will be cleared away by Boreham Wood, who will try and counter. Well stopped just inside their own half. Kilkenny picks it up for Bournemouth, who trail by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio 5 Live in the FA Cup 4th round. Kilkenny once more for Bournemouth. Campbell has had some lovely touches since coming on to make his Bournemouth debut. 2 more there. Sends it out to the right hand side, and now Mariah Welsh down to the byline, pulls it back to Ryan Christie, and now in field to Jayden Anthony. Nice triangles here for Bournemouth. Can they work the shooting opportunity? Again, really well read by David Stevens. Under pressure from Jamal Lowe. So much pressure, but just eases it back to Tay Ashby Hammond.
Yeah, but I do worry now. I think Luke Garrett might be going to his bench to get warm, because there is starting to feel a little bit of fatigue out there, and you can see it. And now I'm looking at the bench, and Bournemouth are looking to bring players on now. They feel like they can really shift gears again.
Boreham Wood trying to break down the centre with Tyrone Marsh, but dealt with well by Bournemouth. They do have top scorer Dominic Solanke on the bench. This is what he didn't do in the 3rd round, Scott Parker. He didn't take the big guns to go. Well, he's got them on the bench here, but it's not Solanke who's coming on. They're going to make a double change. It is Jack Stacey who's on for Marcondes, who in truth has been ineffective this evening for Bournemouth. And Philip Billing, who's enjoying a great season, also the best goal scoring season of his career, Billing, although he brings so much more than that, is coming on for Nathan Mariah Walsh. And they're having to turn to the big guns, Karen.
Yeah, they are. They really need it. You know, I think if you talk about that wide free kick, that's classed as a shot. I don't know whether that would be their first shot on target if that was classed. So they haven't had any input on Ashby Hammond in goal for Boreham Wood. So they need to bring on Billing. They need to bring on Stacey. A bit more experience, a bit more quality. I think Billing's the difference. He's going to drive through, run through that midfield area. A threat from set plays as well.
Now, Scott Bowden running through the centre for Boreham Wood has gone down. It was more a shout from the technical area and the ever-lively Luke Garrard than Bowden himself. Although he did have a look at Graham Scott. Campbell then goes down. The challenge came in from Frankie Raymond. Free kick goes the way of Bournemouth. I think he did catch Campbell there, Raymond, but Bournemouth will feel fortunate that they got the free kick, although deservedly so, because had referee Graham Scott not seen it that way, then Boreham Wood could have been in.
Yeah, absolutely, but it was a free kick. He caught him, and that'll teach him to be like, that's us from Boreham Wood. Cantwell, we know about you. You're tricky, nimble, but we'll let you know that we're here.
Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1 in the FA Cup 4th round here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball played over the top for Bournemouth by James Hill. Out to that right hand side will be collected by the Boreham Wood debutants, Connor Stevens, who clears straight out of play. Cheer from the home fans. They've not had too much to cheer about in this match, but their side have been better in this second half. The substitutions have made an impact. What will the latest pair of Stacey and Billing do for Scott Parker's side? They're pushing for promotion to the Premier League, Bournemouth. That's why they've made the 9 changes, but Scott Parker will know and will feel there was more than enough quality on this pitch to get the job done, but they certainly didn't show it in the first half. They need to show it and continue to show it in the second, because they still trail by a goal to nil. They have the ball on the right hand side. Campbell to Christie, in field now to Kilkenny. Has Hill as an option just inside the centre circle and uses him. Out to the left hand side now, and Leif Davis pulls it back to the halfway line, as the Boreham Wood fans certainly enjoying their away day out. Their sold out away allocation, and Bournemouth have given the ball away, and they might have something else to cheer the away fans. Bowden plays it in field to Marsh, midway through the Bournemouth half. Out to the left hand side, that pass to Mendy was just a little bit short, but Mendy has picked it up, plays the ball into the penalty area, deflection, headed away, and the offside flag goes up against Scott Bowden. Phillips had won the header anyway, and it's a free kick to Bournemouth inside their own penalty area. Karen Carney.
Yeah, I mean, it's great play from Mendy down that left hand side. He's taking on 2-3 players, gets to cross him, slightly deflected, but I think Bowden was just coming in off that offside position. But just looking at Bournemouth, how they've set up now, Billing has gone into that midfield since he's come on. Stacey's at right back and Christie's gone to right wing. So in that midfield now, Bournemouth have got Kilkenny holding, Campbell and Billing, so they've really got everyone on now and really going for it and trying to pull Bournemouth apart.
And they have the ball down the right-hand side, but Stacey just too much on it for Christie. Connor Stevens is under pressure, miscontrol under good pressure from the Scotland international Ryan Christie. And Bournemouth have a corner on the far side. Midway through the second half on 5 Live, Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1. But Bournemouth continuing to keep up the pressure. Black and red shirts are dotted once more amongst the whites in the penalty area. This corner will be taken from the right-hand side, swung in high, headed away again by the excellent David Stevens. Bournemouth will pick up possession once more. Leif Davis, Boreham Wood very deep defending these set pieces. And Bournemouth will try and come down the right-hand side. The ball in just had too much on it. Headed away well by Kane Smith. Picked up by Campbell for Bournemouth, who trail by a goal to nil. Campbell tries a bit of tricky footwork, does very well, wins the corner, sliding in off the Boreham Wood goal scorer and captain Mark Ricketts.
Brilliant from Campbell, just positive, picking the ball up, driving, and then petrified when he's near the penalty area because they're thinking, don't dangle out a leg, don't trip him up. But he wins a corner, and he's been brilliant, Campbell, since he's come on. Energy, you know, wants to make things happen. His movement, been real excited by him.
Corner swung in, powerfully headed away by Will Evans for Boreham Wood, but will be picked up once more by Bournemouth. They really are collecting all of the second balls at the moment. And here is Campbell on the right-hand side, swings the ball in. 2 Boreham Wood players go for it together, comes to Christie, to shoot, blocked, won't fall to Billing. The Boreham Wood players are claiming an offside anyway, but Billing left it, and it came off a Boreham Wood player, and it's behind for another Bournemouth corner, and they really are racking up the pressure, Karen Carney.
Yeah, you feel the momentum now, really building. You just see the legs, the energy, the tiredness going through Boreham Wood. They've got to dig deep, especially when they've got these waves of attacks just coming at them.
Bournemouth with the corner again, right-hand side, flicked up by Evans. Ashby Hammond underneath it, couldn't gather, but he was under pressure, and the decision has gone against Phillips and Bournemouth. And the ball spins away. Well, it's one of those, I know if I had Rob Green or David James sitting alongside me, they'd definitely say, yep, keeper's decision all day long. I'm not sure he does too much wrong there, Phillips. It's a powerful header, but the ball had spun out of the penalty area anyway.
I think he jumped up with his hands, Phillips, and then that's kind of stopped Ashby Hammond using his own hands to go and collect the ball. So I actually think it was the right decision from the referee. Look, I'm an outfield player, and like, they do protect it way too much.
It's 20 yards.
In that instance, I think the referee did get it right.
Ashby Hammond launches it long over the halfway line. 20 minutes to play here on 5 Live. Boreham Wood still lead by a goal to nil as Tyrone Marsh goes down, and he's absolutely furious there, the Boreham Wood striker, again, similarly to how Bowden went down 5 minutes or so ago. Marsh goes down, playing right on the shoulder of that Bournemouth back line, and referee Graham Scott not interested. What do we reckon, Cameron Carney?
I think he's got a little bit, at first glance, I thought he was being held, but it was just a quick glance that I noticed it, so I'd need to look at it again, but I thought he did have a claim from what I briefly saw.
Bournemouth in possession. The decision goes their way. Forward from Phillips. Billing lays it off, but to nobody. Picked up by Frankie Raymonds. Plays it over the top, but that is rushed. And to be fair, that's the first time we've said that from the National League side. It was a clearance rather than trying to make anything of it, which they really have done, Boreham Wood, this evening. And they still lead by a goal to nil as Christie plays it on the right-hand side, forward to Campbell, won't keep hold of it, and Ricketts, the captain, up and under and away to safety. It bounces into the home fans and almost went down the gangway there, but a lively Stewart, alert to the danger, stops it and throws it back, and Bournemouth have a throw. They have one more substitution that they can make as Scott Parker is down there in discussions with his backroom staff. They have Dominic Solanke, their top scorer, 18 goals in the league this season, on the bench. Would you bring him on, Karen? And yeah, would you have brought him on already?
No, I would have held on and just seen the reaction of everyone else. To have a lot of quality out there, but now it's getting to the point where they keep doing the same things and getting the same outcome. And when you've got Dom Solanke on your bench who scored exactly how many goals you said this season, 18, you put him on. You know, there's 20 minutes left of this game, you're 1-0 down to Boreham Wood, you put him on, and you get yourself back in the game.
Free kick Bournemouth taken quickly. Anthony works it out to the right hand side, has it now, central position, still midway through the Boreham Wood half, lays it off to Kilkenny, forward to Anthony once more as they they advance their way towards the Bournemouth penalty area. Now out to the right-hand side, and Jack Stacey up against Mendy, who marshals him well. Pulls it back to Christie. Bournemouth still keeping up the pressure. Powerful header away by Will Evans for Boreham Wood, and Scott Bowden can't latch onto it, the striker, but they do win a throw, and that is cheered by the Boreham Wood fans. But you can just sense the nerves and the anticipation creeping in. They came here dreaming, Karen, but whether they dreamed that this could become reality, their first time in the FA Cup fourth round, they are 1-0 up away to Championship Bournemouth, and we're into the final 17 minutes.
They've just got to really dig deep now, and the fans have got to help them, because the last 10 minutes they're going to feel it in their legs. They've got to stay concentrated. Like now, they see these little things where Ricketts is there just fouled. Can't give away free kicks in this final third now, because it's just deliveries, it's pressure. They haven't delivered the ball, Bournemouth, but got to be smart now this last period.
They've taken it quickly. The urgency is there for the Championship side, who trail 1-0 here on 5 Live. Christie, lovely layoff to Stacey, drives the ball in, and it's smothered by Tay Ashby-Hammond.
Getting Stacey come on has made a really big difference in Christie. Just a bit more. I love Christie, how he's getting forward. I think he has that end quality, that quality that they need in the final that we haven't seen so far. But getting the crosses in, just need runners across the goalkeeper. But Ashby-Hammond got down low and comfortably saved that cross.
Long clearance from Ashby-Hammond as his manager Luke Garrard watches on. Said his message to the players was give everything you've got to ensure that David can beat Goliath. They knew they were the underdogs. They knew it would be unthinkable. That's the word he used. But they're doing the unthinkable at the moment. Bournemouth, though, coming forward. Jayden Anthony to the edge of the penalty area. Philip Billing almost tried to play it to the referee, Graham Scott, there, and I think realised at the last moment he wasn't a Bournemouth teammate. Boreham Wood clear away over the top, but they're dropping deeper, aren't they, Boreham Wood?
Yeah, they're dropping deeper, and now when they're clearing it, they've got no outlet. So it's going to be a long 16-17 minutes for them. So they need something just to hold the ball up for them.
Ball ding through for the top, flag stays down, Philip Billing lifts it over the bar. What a huge chance for Bournemouth to equalise. The flag stayed down as he raced through. It was a brilliant run by Billing, who's in such good form this season in front of goal. One-on-one with Tay Ashby-Hammond, he's dicked it over the crossbar.
That was the first time and the only time that Bournemouth would have switched off. The centre-backs dropped and Evans stepped, and when he stepped, Billing ran in behind and he threw one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and it's one of them where you just little dink over the top, you've got a little connection, he gets too much on it, it's a massive miss, and you just see the ball go over. Ashby-Hammond wishing that it doesn't go in, it just goes on the top of the net, and he's thinking thank goodness. But it's the first time Boreham Wood have switched off. But here's the person we asked about. Solanke's on, isn't he, Vicky?
He's on for James Hill, their top scorer, 18 goals in the league this season. The best goal scoring season of his career. He's in fabulous form, Dominic Solanke. But Boreham Wood have been fabulous tonight, and their striker Tyrone Marsh, as they win a throw in front of their fans once more, is cheering up that sellout away crowd. Luke Garrard urged them to be the 12th man, the 13th man, the 14th man. That's what they've been this evening at the Vitality Stadium, as the ball into the area is cleared away by Bournemouth. Low snips though. Boreham Wood can't latch onto it. They're claiming there's a handball in there. Graham Scott is not moved, and in fact gives the decision Bournemouth's way. We are into the final 13 minutes. Bournemouth of the Championship 0, Boreham Wood of the National League 1. Are we to see here on 5 Live this evening the greatest cup shot by far of this weekend, and one of the great FA Cup shots of all time? Kilkenny plays it back for Bournemouth.
So Vicky, they've gone even more attacking now. Stacey's gone as a centre-back, but he's playing still up as a right-back. We've got everyone on there.
Jayden Anthony excellently challenged by Kane Smith. Picked up again though by Solanke for Bournemouth, the top scorer, on to try and change the outcome, the momentum of this match. The momentum is with Bournemouth, but the scoreline is with Boreham Wood as Cantwell plays it out to the right-hand side. Appeals of handball, not given. Christie plays it infield as Bournemouth come forward once more. Cantwell, it's left by Billing, lovely backheel by Lowe. Christie drives, what a save by Ashby-Hammond, and again, but it's fired in by Jayden Anthony, and the flag is up on the far side, and Bournemouth almost find the equaliser. Boreham Wood go go straight to their goalkeeper, Tay Ashby-Hammond, who has pulled off not one, but two world-class stops, Karen Charney.
I literally cannot believe the two saves that he's made. They are unbelievable. First one though, edge of the box, Christie taking a left foot shot, it's low, it's bouncing, he gets a strong hand to it, he palms it out, and it comes out to Billing, who's actually the person that's offside. Billing heads it, and then that's the second that world-class save. And then it was put in on the third base, but it was Billing that was offside. But oh my, wow, Ashby-Hammond take a bow. That is an outstanding save, and that keeps Bournemouth 1-0 up. But Scott Parker turns to his bench and just can't believe it. But you have to see this later on Match of the Day. It is unbelievable.
10:30 on BBC One. Don't miss it. Tay Ashby-Hammond, we said during this match, he's been such a key part of their defensive record. They've been unbeaten since he came in. 16 matches, heading for 17. That is why. That is simply world class from the Fulham loanee. As Boreham would give away a free kick just inside their own half. And it's those sort of moments as well, Karen, that can really, again, shift the momentum in a match, because they've been so under the cosh. You'd expect that to continue as Bournemouth come forward again. But they just are those moments that make you think, is this our evening? Is this our night to write more history? As Jayden Anthony dinks the ball in, it's caught, and Ashby-Hammond leaves it right on the byline, pats it down, Solanke closes him down, but it'll take his time. Tay Ashby-Hammond.
I am a little bit worried now for Bournemouth, because they're having to really narrow off. The wide players having to come in, because they're just Bournemouth are just flooding the midfield areas, and then the full-backs, and even Stacey, the centre-back, is pushing on down the width, so they're dropping further and further back, and there's a lot more spaces opening up now. And we've seen that in the last couple of chances, but you know, the crowd are behind them. They've got 10 minutes, not including stoppage time now, just to dig deep. This is a huge 10 minutes of Bournemouth now.
Well, the ball's gone into the away fans, and it wasn't coming back anytime soon. It eventually does for this Bournemouth throw, right in front of that travelling cohort, into the final 10 minutes here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Bournemouth 0, Bournemouth 1, but Bournemouth flooding forward once more. Excellent challenge by Kane Smith on Jayden Anthony, who won't keep it in on the far side. They're all appealing for it, and the throw has gone the way of Bournemouth. And Jayden Anthony did a little 360 pirouette there. He can't believe that decision.
No, and I think that Garrett was in the officials' ear going, "Apple." Losing my own voice here. The atmosphere in here is unbelievable.
Throw to Boreham Woods, who are preparing a change. They only have 5 players on the bench, Boreham Woods, and every single player out there has given it absolutely everything, but fresh legs will be needed to try and see out what would be the greatest ever FA Cup result in Boreham Woods history. One of the greatest nights in their history, full stop. 74 years they've been a club. They never reached this round before, and they're looking to go even further at the expense of Bournemouth, who have it on the right-hand side, played into the penalty area, headed away by Connor Stevens, and now Ryan Christie picks it up once more for Bournemouth. Campbell dinks it in, Billing let it run, cleared away by David Stevens, out to Mendy on this left-hand side, and Mendy gets the clearance, plays it off Stacey, but it runs to Billing down to the byline, and pull back now to Christie, picked up now by Solanke, lays it off to the edge of the area, pulls it out to Jayden Anthony, cuts it infield to Lee Davies. This is brilliantly worked by Bournemouth, but they just can't pull the trigger at the right moment. Bournemouth would have given it away though. Ball into the area from Anthony, deflected, comes out to Christie, can't control. Stacey picks it up on the right hand side, infield to Christie, tries the shot in, it's blocked, tiring on the edge of their own penalty area by Boreham Wood. Out to the left hand side now and Leif Davis. The pressure is relentless from Bournemouth. Header at the back post, back to Campbell, who dinks the ball in, and the header from low is wide, and it trickles down to the byline, and Tyrone Marsh does very well to shepherd the ball. It hasn't gone out of play. He went down, he wanted the free kick, he's tried to clear, he's not got the distance, and Bournemouth will come again. They trail by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio 5 Live into the final 7.5 minutes as Bournemouth would clear the ball away. Campbell's gone down, no free kick. Bournemouth still coming with Solanke, laid off to Campbell, who's back onto his feet. It's breathless here at the Vitalities. The ball is driven in by Stacey, and again driven straight into the arms of Tay Ashby-Hammond.
I just looked at Luke Garrard and he's turned around and he is given the biggest sigh of relief, because that was pressure, concentration. Bournemouth moving it so quick, you see the difference. Solanke comes on and bidding, just the connections they're used to each other. Just the end product. The cross came in again from Stacey. No one running across the front goalkeeper of Ashby-Hammond. He saves it comfortably.
Long ball over the top from Ashby-Hammond, looking for the run of Scott Bowden. And it's all the way through with Freddie Woodman, and Bowden is closing him down, trying to stop him release it quickly. Now Tyrone Marsh has gone down for Boreham Wood. There's no way Bournemouth are going to put this out of play yet. Leif Davis racing down the left-hand side. The away fans are booing. They want the ball put out. Leif Davis plays it behind for a corner. Tyrone Marsh has got up. Graham Scott is stopping play to make sure that Marsh is okay, and we can head for an update from the Africa Cup of Nations final. John Akers.
54 minutes gone. Senegal 0, Egypt 0. Senegal have never won it. Egypt have won it 7 times. Senegal missed a penalty, Sadio Mane, after 7 minutes in this one, and they're on top in the second half. Idrissa Gana Gueye had 2 efforts, a free kick over the bar and a shot on the angle saved by Gabaski. It's Senegal 0, Egypt 0.
Thanks, John. Here at the Vitality, into the final 6 minutes, Adrian Clifton, Boreham Wood's super sub, is on for Tyrone Marsh, who's just gone down. He's come off the bench in the last 2 rounds in the FA Cup, and he's scored in both games, but it's Bournemouth looking to score here from the corner. Headed away, big shout against Campbell for handball, not given by referee Graham Scott. Leif Davis swings it back in. The ball fizzes past everybody in the penalty area, picked up by Billing on the right-hand side. Now Campbell plays it in for Bournemouth, header flicked by Solanke, and it's flicked wide, and it's behind for a Boreham Wood goal kick. And we must mention Adrian Clifton, because not only is he a super sub for Boreham Wood, he's come on again in this match. His story is remarkable. He was released by Arsenal as a teenager. That sent him on a real downward spiral. He ended up in prison 3 times. His life was turned around when Ian Wright came and ran a programme in the prison for promising young footballers. He changed his life, he changed his trajectory, he's plied his trade in non-league ever since, and he's part of this Boreham Wood side that stand on the brink of more history as Tay Ashby-Hammond goes into the book, the Boreham Wood goalkeeper, for delaying this goal kick, but I don't think he'll care a jot. Boreham Wood are on the verge of one of the biggest shocks in FA Cup history. Karen Clark.
Yeah, they really are. 5 minutes of normal time to go. Just need to keep it in their attacking half, right with their fans, because they're urging them on, pressing every ball with them every moment.
Bournemouth have won it back. Here is Leif Davis, and now Jayden Anthony over the halfway line. Billing is racing forward. Going, let's fly, and it curls over the angle of post and bar. And let's get the stopwatches out. Let's see how long Tay Ashby-Hammond takes this time.
I think there's more tired legs. It looks like Boreham Wood might need to make a change. There's so many tired legs out there now.
Yes, James Comley is about to come on for the captain, the goal scorer, their hero, Mark Ricketts. He's taking his time, he's trudging off, he's applauding those Boreham Wood fans, the 1,380 of them that have made the journey. He's eking out every second, and he might have just written his name into the history books for Boreham Wood. His goal in the first half, shortly before half-time, gives them this precious lead that they've hung on to, and hung on to, and hung on to, and they have 3 minutes plus added time to hang on. He's off, Comley's on. And Karen Carney, the tension, the expectancy inside the Vitality Stadium, tension from the home fans, expectancy from the away fans. You can almost taste it in the air.
Yeah, there's still in my head though, this is the FA Cup. There's still a long way to go, even if there is 3 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So a lot could happen, a lot can change.
We saw it with Kidderminster and West Ham. We saw Plymouth heartbroken by Chelsea. Are Boreham Wood to avoid that fate against Bournemouth? It's Bournemouth who have it inside their own penalty area. Here is Freddie Woodman, plays it out to Nat Phillips, midway through his own half. Has the runners ahead of him. One of them, Solanke, picks it up now. Bournemouth's top scorer, challenged in the centre of the park by Comley, but Bournemouth still have it on the left-hand side. Leif Davis, back to Jayden Anthony, into the final 2 minutes Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1 here on 5 Live in the FA Cup 4th round. Jayden Anthony to Cantwell, tries a little 1-2, brilliant sliding challenge by Evans. Kane Smith gets the foot in as well, and Kane Smith wins the free kick for Boreham Wood, and the time continues to tick away, Karen Carney.
Yeah, Raymond and Evans there just go over to each other and give themselves a pat on the back and a high five, and just, yeah, that just stopped the game, stopped the momentum, that gets us up the pitch, bit of territory. As again, I tell you, it's so nerve when you're tired and just teams keep peppering you and you've got to dangle legs out left, right and centre. It's so hard, and credit to them, both of them got that time and the tackle spot on.
Ball goes out of play for a Boreham Wood throw. Every single inch of territory, every single second of possession is so vital. Boreham Wood are about to take the throw here, and that's cute from Kane Smith. He just mimics just throwing it straight into the crowd and then does throw it onto the pitch, but they want to eke out every second that they can. They've lost possession. Bournemouth send it forward, headed away by David Stevens, brought down by Anthony just inside his own half, under pressure. Bournemouth give it away, but they picked it back up. Solanke is challenged, and the ball goes straight into the arms of Scott Parker, who throws it quickly to Bournemouth manager, because his side are into the final minute of normal time. They're on the brink of a shock exit from the FA Cup, but they've won a free kick. Dominic Solanke wins it in the centre of the Boreham Wood half. Now, Bournemouth wanted to take that quickly with Cantwell, but Frankie Raymond, who was involved in the initial collision with Solanke, has stayed down, so Graham Scott says, no, I want Boreham Wood to be able to set for this, and Bournemouth will have to try something different. 30 seconds got out of time to play. Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1. Bournemouth in possession, the championship side. Leif Davis has it on the left, plays it forward, looking for the run of Billing, down to the byline inside the penalty area, pulls the ball across, it's over the head of Christie at the far post, but Christie will pick it up, pulls it out to Campbell, plays it in, and the shot on the edge of the penalty box from Dominic Solanke sliding in is straight into the arms of Tay Ashby Hammond. He just couldn't get the connection on the penalty spot, Solanke.
No, and it was a massive chance, because as it comes into Cantwell on the edge, who clips it into Solanke, I think he thinks that Cantwell was going to get it, Ashby Hammond, so he's moved his feet, and because there was no pace and he still managed to get across, that was a big chance of Bournemouth.
Into 5 minutes of added time. Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1. The ball goes behind for a goal kick. Boreham Wood is screaming that it should be a corner, but Bournemouth once more will have to build from the back. Boreham Wood, who've never even reached the 4th round before this campaign, are on the brink of the 5th round of the FA Cup. They've never even been in the Football League. This will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest nights in their 74-year history, if they can hold out. But Bournemouth are flooding forward once more. Here is Jayden Anthony, counted back to Leif Davis, pulls the ball across, picked up by Solanke, forced wide, out of the penalty area, back to Davis once more. Now Jayden Anthony lifts the ball in, flicked away out of the penalty area. Bowden will help it on for Boreham Wood. Clifton plays it behind Reese. Sliding challenge though means Bournemouth can't keep possession. They'll get it now though. Cantwell brings it down. 1-0 still, Boreham Wood lead. Cantwell plays it out to the right hand side, and Ryan Christie approaching the penalty area. Up against Mendy, Christie gets the ball in, powerfully headed away by David Stevens out of the box. Stacey wins the header for Bournemouth. We played 90 seconds of the minimum 5 minutes added on. Bournemouth 0, Boreham Wood 1 here on 5 Live. Jayden Anthony has it outside the penalty area, laid off by Billing. Anthony once more, out to the left hand side. Scott Parker's gesturing his players forward. The header on the edge of the box sends it out of the penalty area. Picked up once more by Bournemouth. Boreham Wood, all the white shirts, camped inside their own box. Out to the left now, and Leif Davis pulls it across the lane. Drags it wide at the far post. That was the chance for Bournemouth.
That was it. That was the moment, and it fell to the person you wanted it to fall to. Dom Solanke. Anthony driving in, plays it out wide. A cross comes into him. He takes a really good first touch with his left foot, sets him up then for the shot, and he just stumps it wide, and everyone has their mouths open thinking, oh no, it's Dom Solanke, is it going in? It just goes wide, and everyone then that's involved with Boreham Wood takes a massive sigh of relief that it went wide. 2.5 minutes
change, using those substitution opportunities. And Niall Ranger, the former Newcastle player, is on, and Scott Bowden is off. Ranger, whose career has been beset by off-the-field disciplinary problems, but has Premier League experience with Newcastle, and will look to bring that experience to bear. Bournemouth in possession, and they will be trying to keep their minds focused on this and not thinking, as I'm sure their fans might be just wondering in the back of their minds, this was exactly where Kidderminster Harriers were at this stage of their match against West Ham. Is there to be a late comeback for the favourites, Bournemouth, of the Championship? They have the ball over on the right-hand side. Lewis Phillips comes back, central position. Kilkenny out to the left-hand side now, and Leith Davis. The black and red shirts are lined up in the penalty area. Solanke forced out of the box in possession, pulls it back to Stacey. To the right-hand side now. We're approaching the final minute of added time as Christie down to the byline. Corner, Bournemouth, as we enter the final 60 seconds here at the Vitality Stadium. Karen Carney.
They're sending the goalkeeper up as well, I think, Bournemouth. Go for it.
Well, he's asking the question, Freddie Woodman. There's no time. It's swung in. It's headed away on the edge of the Bournemouth 6-yard box out to the left-hand side. Leith Davis sends it back in. Stacey is there, wins the header, and the flick is over the bar, and it's a goal kick to Boreham Wood, and there are 40 seconds left to play. Karen Carney.
Oh wow, I think everyone in here is just absolutely, I think Scott Parker knows now though that's gone. Yeah, Boreham Wood just got to get it, kick it now. Ashby Hammond, get it long, get it into the other half.